So if you saw an ad while you were searching for housing that said, bachelor pad, that could be discrimination based on gender. If you feel pushed into choosing one unit or one neighborhood over another, that's discrimination as well. A landlord should never tell you that you have to live at a certain end of a building because you have children, or that another neighborhood would be better for you because of the language spoken there. That's called steering, and that's against the law. Fair housing laws also protect people with disabilities. If you need a change in the rules or services provided by your housing authority, you may request one. If your housing authority decides the change is reasonable and will remove a barrier to housing caused by your disability, then it may be able to make the change for you. Let's talk about someone who actually requested a change like this. This is Mrs. Smith. She moved into a public housing unit on the second floor in a development without elevators. Then she became disabled and now uses a walker. Now Mrs. Smith has requested to move to a unit on the first floor because it's going to be easier for her to get in and out of her unit. The housing authority will grant Mrs. Smith that transfer. Now let's talk about Mrs. Jones. Mrs. Jones is in the Housing Choice Voucher, or Section 8 program. Mrs. Jones finds a unit she likes, and she's going to sign the lease with the landlord, but she finds that she needs a ramp to get her motorized scooter in and out of the unit. Mrs. Jones asks the landlord if she can have a ramp constructed, and the landlord allows her to do so. In this case, because she's in the Housing Choice Voucher program rather than the public housing program, Mrs. Jones will need to pay for the ramp herself.